What does accreditation mean for a police department? I'm Jill Horner. This is Comcast Newsmakers. With me is Al Sunday. He's with the New Jersey Public Safety Accreditation Coalition. Thanks so much for being with us.
Certainly.
When we talk about accreditation, what does that actually mean for a police department? When a department is accredited, what does that mean?
Well, it's a process where an outside agency develops best practices in the industry. And it's not just law enforcement, it's in the hospital industry, the airline industry. But in law enforcement, best practices are vetted out, and then they're put out through standards. And the agency has to go through a process where they change their policies to meet the standards, and then a team of assessors comes out, and after 3 years, they verify that the agency is actually living up to the standards. So once that happens, they go to a commission hearing, and if they're successful, they get accredited.
Why would a police department, a law enforcement agency, want to go through this process? What are the benefits of being accredited?
Well, because you're doing it the best way possible. You're using state-of-the-art processes, you're using state-of-the-art policies, and quite frankly, not many law enforcement agencies go through the rigor of being accredited for financial reasons or because it's just sometimes it's a cultural issue, and it's actually a good thing, and it's a point of pride, and it actually tells a community that your police department is doing the job right and they're professionals. And
with that, the process, as you mentioned, can be a lengthy process. It can take a few years. You have to be vetted as part of this process. But once a department becomes accredited, once they have that as part of their department, what then does it mean moving forward? What does it say to the public in terms of perception?
Well, I think that it's, first off, accreditation is an ongoing process, so it's not.
So you don't just get accredited and that's the end.
No, it's evolution, not revolution. You continually have to strive to get better and better and better. And the commission, the funnel keeps getting narrower and narrower and narrower in terms of the level of perfection that they expect. So at the end of this, your agency is always striving to improve. And the additional thing is that the accrediting agencies, either the State Chiefs Association or CALEA, which is the national group, they're constantly updating the professional standards and the best practices through the use of experts, so multidisciplinary experts, so sociologists, social scientists, law enforcement professionals, technical people. And so it's years ago, I guess in the 70s, there was a move to make policing a profession. Accreditation is the realization of that professionalization.
And with that, you say it's about culture in many police departments and about a culture change within these departments and in law enforcement overall. What do you mean by that? Because culture change goes beyond education and best practices.
Right. So there's two components to this culture change. There's the formal culture change, which I think accreditation does a fantastic job in changing the culture. And really what it does is it holds not just the officers accountable, but it holds the organization accountable to the public, to the officers, and to themselves. And then there's another culture change that's going on that accreditation helps facilitate. It's the soft aspects of policing. It's the individual officers, the culture that they have, and we're beginning to do that through programs like Blue Courage, which is a fantastic program which focuses on the officer, and the theory being that if you have a human being that fears doing their job or isn't realizing self-actualization, they're going to be less effective. So Blue Courage focuses on the officer, makes the officer the best that they can be so that they can go forward and do their job better and serve the community even better. So it's an exciting time for law enforcement. I know that some things in the news can be pretty troubling to see, but there is a change underfoot. It's coming, and I think that programs like Blue Courage really underscore that. And the accredited agencies, I think, are going to be the leaders in this.
Thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you so much.
We've been talking with Al Sunday. He's with the New Jersey Public Safety Accreditation Coalition. I'm Jill Horner for Comcast Newsmakers.